This is the Kitchen Sink WP Podcast, episode 449.
I program my own computer.
We have a server crash, 404 error, page not found, links aren't working, system is crashing, system is crashing, system is crashing.
Your old HTML website, barely alive. We have the technology. We have WordPress. A new website, better than it was before. Better, stronger, faster. We have the technology. The technology.
Why, hello everybody, this is Adam Silver, the host of the Kitchen Sink WP Podcast. Thanks for being here. Let's get started. All right, upcoming events, first and foremost. There's two of them. One is the day after this comes out. So this episode comes out October 3rd. October 4th, 2022 is a workshop put on by ALLIE NIMMONS called How to Be an Ally workshop. There's been some chatter online regarding this issue and topic at hand. So she's putting together a workshop. If you hear this in time, there's a link in the show notes, but also if you go over to, I'll tell you right now, allienimmons.com/workshop, you can purchase your ticket. How to be an ally. So pretty interesting things going on there. So thanks to ALLIE for that. Also in the news for upcoming events, upcoming events is WooSesh. It's October 11th through 13th. It's not this week, it's the week after. It's free, but I want to mention it so that you can plan accordingly. It's a virtual conference for WooCommerce store builders that will help grow your business. So put a link in the show notes there as well. It's over at woosesh.com. That's WOOSESH.com. It's October 11th, 12th, and 13th, and it's free. And that's it for the upcoming events. All right, yeah, there's no WordCamps next weekend, sadly. So moving on to segment one in the news, only one thing here, and that is that PublishPress acquired MetaSlider plugin and MetaSlider Lightbox. Slightly odd from the perspective of a lot of people don't like sliders anymore. I know one person who doesn't like them at all, never did. Anyway, I won't mention his name, but nonetheless, so PublishPress acquired MetaSlider plugin and the Lightbox. So congratulations to that acquisition, and we can reset the acquisition counter as well. So there's that. All right, moving on, segment two, the meat and potatoes of this week's episode. Now, if you're a longish time listener to the podcast, you know of my interest in online courses. I've taken a whole bunch actually, and I've been wanting to do some, and I'm struggling to get on with that initiative. Let's call it blame imposter syndrome, but whatever. And I had Chris Badgett on the podcast a few weeks back, about 2 months ago, I guess, from Lifter LMS. And I'm still working on some things from that. He did help me in mindset-wise, and I'm working on some stuff. I am. But I digress. And with that, this week, I'm actually talking about learning management systems once again. In this case, LearnDash. And actually, I did a review on this plugin, but it's been a really, really long time, like 5 years ago, back episode 156 to be exact. And things have changed a lot. Now, first and foremost, LearnDash was acquired by Stellar WP, and WordPress itself has changed over 5 years considerably. So it's time to revisit the plugin, at least from a high-level view. And to keep this on track, I just went through the process of installing it and going through some settings and creating a course. Not the one I want to put out there for y'all, but just some fun basic stuff. Anyway, so I ran the wizard. Let's go back to my notes here and kind of tell you what I did here. So I installed the plugin to a brand new clean installation of WordPress. A setup wizard appeared once I activated the wizard. I entered my email and my license to validate it and came up pretty quick, no problems there. Right under that little area for validation of email and license number is a communication preference. It's a yes or no slider asking, do you want to use the email above for all LearnDash emails and course notifications? You say yes, it's fine. You say no, you put in a different email address, which is kind of cool, but there's no opt-out. And I'm thinking this is actually emails from LearnDash, the company, or from Stellar WP/LearnDash. I'm not quite sure. It's a little confusing there, but nonetheless, I said yes, and that was fine. The next screen asks the questions, tell us what your course is, how many courses are you planning to create, just one or multiple, and then the types of courses. And you could do a simple course, certificate, timed, or group. Those are defined as simple as like a video or text-based course without certificate or quizzes. A certificate would have quizzes and certificates. Timed would be a video or text-based course, which it's a lot of overlap here, is what I'm trying to say here. And a group course would be a course led by group leaders, perfect for cohorts, corporate training, and classrooms. So I picked, in this case, simple. So that's what I did. And I picked multiple courses and simple. So I want to do more than one course per se, and then make them simple as far as the format goes. The next question was, do I want to charge, yes or no? I said yes at first, and then the options come up with Stripe or Woo. If you click Woo, it says it's going to install plugins. If you click Stripe, it says connect, but there was no way to skip. You couldn't just say yes, but skip the setup for right now. So I said no, and I'm pretty sure I could fix that later. Also, it asks the question type of currency. And this was interesting. It said, what currency do you want to accept? Should be one from the code of the ISO 4217 list. However, there is no listing. You don't know like what the US dollar is for ISO 4217. At least I couldn't find anything. I guess there's a link maybe there, or did I find one online? I don't remember. But it didn't really give it to me easily, so I thought that was weird. I might give them some feedback on that. So skipping that for now. Like I said, I'm 99% sure I can come back and add that later. Next screen. It tells you what's going to be set up. You're going to get registration and registration success pages, and allow students to register for your courses, etc. And it's going to give you a course listing. And what else? Some of the options you have there, you can actually turn on the option for a certificate builder, a course grid, or WooCommerce. I left those all off for now because I'm just trying to be simple, nimble, and fast. So done with that. Next up is, once I clicked done, it brought me to a screen that showed me a LearnDash bootcamp, a whole bunch of listings of videos I can watch with additional resources. And of course, a bunch of new custom post types on the left side of the dashboard. I did watch the first video, just wanted to see what it looked like and sounded like. Looks really good. Just a voiceover showing some basic setup things. And then, of course, it gives you suggestions to keep watching the next videos. I opted not to do those. I wanted to go ahead and just try for myself. So I went ahead and created a new course. I added a title. I added some content about the course. And then just the way it kind of flowed out, I can tell the next would be use the builder. And much like other learning management systems, the LMS is pretty straightforward. Courses have titles. Those titles then have section headings. Underneath that would be lessons within those headings, and then quizzes within those. Additionally, you can have a final quiz for the entire course as well. So, and there's a quick little side note here. As with any type of course with a learning management system, I have noticed it's really not quite as simple as just sitting down and writing it all out. You kind of want to really outline all the parts first before you even dive into LearnDash or Lifter or Kajabi, wherever you're going to put this stuff. You really do need to take the moment, outline the course, outline the topics, outline the content before you even get into this part. And then, of course, create the content as well. So, for example, let's say you have a title heading of introduction. Then you have lesson number 1, welcome to the course. That's just the lesson title itself. Topics within lesson number 1 would be what you need to know, and maybe a topic would be equipment and tools you might need, okay? So once you have all these things laid out, maybe you have 5 lessons within the overall course. So you have introduction, lesson 1, with topics A and B. And then lesson 2 could be the history of whatever it may be. I don't know. But you understand that there's definitely a methodology here for creating a course. So once you've laid all that out in the builder, you then need to create the actual lessons. So now I clicked back to the dashboard over, in the custom post type to the lessons. And we see the name of the lessons that we just created in the builder. And I got to say, I didn't see that coming. And I'm really happy to see that because I've seen other LMSs where that's not the case. You create this little outline in a course builder, if you will, and then you have to go back and kind of recreate the actual lessons, but not have them be the same name because of a slug conflict. I've seen that happen in the past. Things have changed, but pretty cool here. So that did save a lot of time as well and confusion. A lot of settings in this area. Besides the standard way of adding content, there's a settings tab giving you plenty of options like lessons materials tab, video progression, assignments, uploads, forced lesson timer. And for example, there's tooltips for all these. I want to mention forced lessons timer. The tooltip showed that the lesson cannot be marked as complete until the set time has been elapsed, which is pretty cool. So you can make people watch the video so they can't just click a button and say, watched it, done. It has to be a matter of time in there. Additional settings in this area are when is the course available? Immediately, enrollment-based, or specific date. Pretty cool. I thought that was kind of neat. So moving right along, digging around further down the topics here, I found the content is added to both lessons area and topics, as well as quizzes. So kind of keep that in mind that the outline, the course builder is just the very top level. You have to go into all 3 sections after that to add the content. So moving forward, Functionality looks really good here, pretty straightforward. I think I've spent enough time in learning management systems to kind of get it. Checking the add-ons tab of LearnDash, there's a lot to choose from here. You can connect Gravity Forms add-on, Calendar plugin, WooCommerce, Stripe, Zapier, a lot of extensibility there as well. And I did visit, of course, almost lastly, the settings tab. As expected, I can add Stripe and connect it there, or PayPal, or RazorPay. Never heard of that one before. I'm like, what's RazorPay? I don't know. Never heard of it. Never gonna look it up. I don't know. Anyway, and lastly there, I took about 10 more minutes and to see how well it worked with our stack using Beaver Builder and the add-ons that we use here over at my agency. And since LearnDash uses shortcodes, it was not difficult to use them within Beaver Builder. I added a quick little front page template, added the shortcode. Actually, I clicked the button to connect to the registration page first. And then from there, you can click, once they register, a shortcode to go to the course listing or listings if you wanted to. So, looks good. Looks really good. 30,000 foot view, final wrap up here. There's been a lot of changes to LearnDash since episode 156, for sure. Okay, it's actually really fast, by the way. It's really snappy. Tons of changes also with WordPress, for that matter. That said, LearnDash works really well. It's a solid choice, in my opinion, for someone looking to get into an LMS. Of course, if you want to get into it, there's a cost. It's not a free plugin. There's no free version that I saw anywhere. The starting price point here was $199 for one site for 1 year. 10 sites are $399, and unlimited will be $799. And lastly on this is they do have a cloud-based version, which I did not test. It's like $30 a month if I'm not mistaken. So check it out if you're looking for a solution to provide online courses. I know the team behind it. I trust them. The support looks pretty good. Really it does. The documentation's there. It's straightforward. And check that out. So yeah, it's been a long time. 156 to 449. It's been a long time since I've reviewed this. So I'm glad I took the time to spend here and kind of go through it. So it's over at LearnDash.com. So there you go. Okay. That's it for that. If you're looking to do some courses, maybe I will finally, in 2023, put out a course. We'll see. Okay, moving on. Final tip segment here, segment 3, tip and tool of the week. Oh yeah, this one is it's a fun site I found. It has no real relevance to WordPress, but I wanted to share with you. There's a conversation I saw online again. How do you pronounce the word GIF versus JIF? Okay, so I pronounce it. The peanut butter is GIF. The file format is GIF. There's a site now called gifofgif.com. Doesn't answer the question, but it's some fun information with some fun resources. So it's gifofgif.com. Just want to share something fun with you right now. So that is it. All right, let me wrap it up here. If you have any questions, go ahead, send it in via email, adam@KitchensinkWP.com, or use the SpeakPipe function on the website. If you want to support the show, I would love that. You become a Patreon, link on the website. And if you want to sponsor the show, there's also a form that you can fill out to become a sponsor of the website. That'd be awesome to have you aboard. Thanks for listening. See you next week. Now go out and do some awesome things with WordPress. All right? Bye-bye.